Well, hopefully this will mean that actual crimes will now be solved. Let's begin. Well, despite obviously solving countless crimes a day, obviously, of course, not when they're on their dedicated donut breaks, taking a knee, or perhaps, arresting people for posting or sharing comments on social media. It actually looks like it's taken the police quite a while to realise that presumably most of the public think that they shouldn't be doing the latter. And now they've finally been told by a damning report, according to The Sun.
Does that mean I've got to give my rainbow police car back?
The article also says that cops have been told to focus on the basics of policing rather than the woke acts, a damning report says. Police have been called to refrain from taking the knee or wearing campaign badges on their uniforms to avoid the appearance of partisan political views. Well, I don't know about you, but personally I think it's about time. I mean, this whole thing seems to have spiraled out of control since the whole 2020 protests of the BLM movement, I think it was. And of course, it's not only what the police are doing, but it's life in general nowadays just seems to be censored. We're not allowed to say this or that. Everything we say seems to be policed, just in case it offends someone on Twitter or somewhere like that. It's just absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. And talking about ridiculous, just like those rainbow police cars, I mean, how can anyone take the police seriously when they come to places in rainbow cars? I mean, these people are there to do a good job and arrest bad guys, but when the definition of a crime gets blurred between hurting someone's feelings on social media, that just, personally in my opinion, makes them a bit of a laughingstock, doesn't it? And detracts from the actual job they're there to do. I don't think the police should be politicised at all. The law is impartial, and so should they be. I know they probably want to come across as friendly and approachable, but I just don't think that rainbow cars and dancers in the street are really the right way to go about it, because they just lose respect from a lot of people in my opinion, and often aren't taken seriously because of it when they should be taken seriously. They are the police, and they should act like it, shouldn't they, by dealing with actual crimes like robberies, burglaries, assaults and whatever else, and leaving name calling and things like that to mummy and daddy. The study from the Policy Exchange says that such actions can be hugely damaging to public confidence. It highlights polling that shows that 4 in 10 voters think the cops are more concerned with being woke than solving crimes. The views are understood to have the backing of Home Secretary Priti Patel, and she believes officers should be focusing on making streets safer. That seems strange that she seems to now only be saying this in what presumably is her last week in office, doesn't it? I mean, who knows, maybe she wants to say to either Liz Truss or Rishi, hopefully Liz Truss, that, oh, I am actually good, please keep me on, but to be honest, her record hasn't actually shown that in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, she does talk a good talk, but perhaps who knows, if she had acted sooner and done something, then she might have been kept on, but I just can't see that happening. I mean, everyone I've spoken to, and actually quite a lot of people in my comments, also think that the police should just stay away from all the woke crap out there and just actually stick to solving crimes, which is what they're really there to do, isn't it? And speaking of which, that actually reminds me of a comment that Jeremy Clarkson said that James May had made when he got pulled over by the police, and apparently said something like, "Oh good, this must mean you've found my TV set." The report also warned that only 3.5% of residential burglaries and 6.3% of reported robberies were solved in the last 12 months to March this year. It said there appears to be no doubt that the ability of police to solve crime once it has happened has reduced significantly over the last decade. Which, if you think about it, is actually quite worrying, because if some people out there see that the police appear to be more concerned with people's hurt feelings rather than solving actual crimes like burglaries, assaults or whatever else, and turning up to places in rainbow cars, then some people out there are going to take advantage of it, and actual crime in general surely will only go up as a result, won't it? So hopefully this report might finally start to make them realise that. And if it doesn't, I guess some of them may need to go back to police school, especially if what they think in this video is going to fool us. Anyway, subscribe for more and I'll see you in the next one.